What's going on, everyone? How you doing? Ron here, Tech Tips to Go. Let me blast this out on social. We're going to go through this new format that I have that my team made. We're going to go over this rundown first, Vechain. We're going to talk about Grayscale BTC. We're going to talk about strong nodes. We're going to talk about COINTELEGRAPH or CoinDesk top 5 cryptos. And then the bull run. When will the bull run end? And then we're going to go through some AMAs. I know how a lot of people in my private group ask me about Oxbow Solana. How do you do the Oxbow Solana stuff? So we're going to get into that. Let me just shout this out on Twitter. Give me 1 second. I'll be back. All right. Let me blast this out to Twitter. YouTube. Here we are. All right, where is Twitter? Just gonna do this. Let me just do a tweet live on YouTube. Let me blast this out to the free group. All right, cool. All right, you guys hear me? What's going on? Chase, what's going on? Patty, Patty's in the house. What's good? What is good? Patty, Mark Ennis is in the house. Fantastic. Caught it live. Yo, Chase, what have you been up to, man? I haven't seen you. I see you pop in the channel once in a while. I know you're a community. I think you said you mentioned you're a community manager, admin. I'm in for Cirrus and the NFT Stars guys. So congrats on that. Sunday evening. Vechain has Vechains now too. Wow. Yeah, anyways, let's go through this rundown. So Vechain news, Vechain DHL news. That's massive. It's huge, right? DHL, like logistics supply chain. When you think like, it's just amazing when I think of Vechain. It's like, okay, well, yeah, Vechain is great. They do enterprise blockchain solutions. And then out of nowhere, we always knew they had like some kind of working relationship with DHL, because when you think of logistics and supply chain and crypto, you think, shout out to Jay, you think you think Vechain, right? Vechain is like the biggest enterprise solutions. You think of fire and transactions. I'm still bagging Vechain. I wish we were still in the 0.00 days. You know, it's just crazy how time flies, and it's like yesterday. Like I remember bagging Vechain at 0.00 levels, and it's just crazy to think. Anyways, Vechain DHL. You think about Vechain, you think about enterprise blockchain solutions. And then with the DHL news, like everyone's getting into NFTs. Like your grandmother's getting into NFTs, your great grandmother's getting into NFTs. And when you look at this news, you're like, what? You're like, wait, DHL is getting into NFTs, and they've selected to use Vechain Thor's blockchain, Vechain's tools to get into NFTs. That's a statement right there. That's huge. Like everyone, like NFTs are what? It's almost as bullish as to say like we're in the 1980s, or you know, when dial-up internet started, you know, the late 80s, early 90s. It's like internet, right? NFTs is like that boom. Like that's how early we are. And that's why, like, when I talk about the stuff that you should be getting into, is you can't sit on your hands in cryptocurrency. You can't sit on your hands. I know there's the HODL game and the HODL strategy game, but there's too much money to be made out there. Not financial advice, but there's way too much money to be made out there. You can make 5x, 10x if you get into the right coins with a low market cap. That's the main thing, is you look for these plays that have a great potential with a low market cap that could 5x based on speculation, based on hype, based on community, right? And then you take your profits out of there and bag your strong holdings. Okay, so anyways, that's huge. Strong holdings like Vechain, DHL. And I said in one of my recent videos that I'm going to be uploading today, it's like, I don't need to talk too much about VeChain, because when I was talking about VeChain back in the day, it needed help. It needed help to get on the map, because people didn't understand blockchain, enterprise, cryptocurrency, how token utility works, how firing made sense. Like, if you're into crypto, you want your blockchain to fire, you want transactions. So people didn't understand that about VET. They think, okay, I'm going to buy into crypto and it needs to be a scaling solution, a layer 1 solution, a layer 2 solution. And then you started to introduce, okay, real world use case with a combination of crypto and blockchain. And what is that when it deals with enterprise? That's VeChain. So people didn't understand that, and I had to help educate people why VeChain was such a great solution to buy. So that's why I don't talk about VeChain as much. I'm going to start to talk more about VeChain just because I'm starting to DCA and bag. I changed my portfolio a lot into less coins that are less speculation, right? Because you want to get into coins that have less overhype. Too much hype is no good, and you want legitimacy of projects. Okay, you could have a project, and the way they paint the picture could be bad, because they might paint a picture which might throw you off, but you really got to read the fine print. You got to see, like, is that country really adopting you, or is this piece of news really legit? Okay, all the stuff that they have said in the past, is it real? Okay, because a lot of people get too, their head gets way too into something, and they ape in before you ape in. And that's why people like to say, do your own research first. Do your own research. Anyways, you do your own research first and don't get wrecked, okay? And I know a lot of people made some bad decisions. Not bad decisions. I don't think any decision is a bad decision, because you learn from it, okay? And this is cryptocurrency, and everyone learns from it. So anyways, that's my thoughts on VeChain. I think VeChain's massive. Anyways, let's go by the schedule, and I'm going to go through some AMAs. I'm going to go through the questions. Just want to keep this on topic, because I'm just going based on everyone's feedback. They're like, yeah, your lives are great, but you need some more format and consistency. So we talk about VeChain. We're going to get into Grayscale BTC, and I'm going to talk about Grayscale and how this is heading towards the future. And you know how we go through market cycles? I think this is going to help with your decision later on as we get into the extension of the bull run. Are we going to fluctuate up and down and all that stuff? So let's talk about Grayscale BTC. There's a great article here. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen. Let me close this. All right, cool. You guys can see my desktop. Anyways, here's CoinDesk. So Grayscale said close to filing to convert Bitcoin fund into a spot ETF. All right, so they said once the application is made, the SEC will have 75 days to review it. So here it is. Grayscale investment plans on applying to convert the world's biggest Bitcoin fund into a spot exchange traded fund earlier this week. Now, they're taking this to a new level. They want the biggest Bitcoin fund into a spot exchange traded fund ETF earlier this week, according to a report on CNBC, citing a person with knowledge of the matter. So while the exact timing of Grayscale is intended, filing may be new, the world's largest digital asset manager has made no secret of its intent to seek approval for a spot Bitcoin-based ETF. Once a futures-based one is cleared, the commission. That approval occurred on Friday. So this is huge. Like, if you get into a spot exchange traded ETF, like where you can actually trade, not just a regular ETF that you invest and done, but a spot exchange traded, this is huge, because Grayscale, we all know that they hold a ton of Bitcoin. This is going to be massive. And the SEC will have 75 days to review it. I don't know if they'll review it, but will they actually approve it? I don't think they'll approve it. I think it'll go through hurdles, but this is just massive news with the ETFs, Grayscale, etc. Because let me just switch my screen here. Like, I think it's just massive because back then in 2013, 2012, 2014, 2017, Bitcoin was more or less looked at as scam. If you tell people that you're invested into cryptocurrency or into Bitcoin, you'd get that eye and they'd be like, is that real? Like, can you actually make money? I still get it where people ask me, you invested into Bitcoin? And the number one question is like, can you actually take money out? That's how new and how early we are into cryptocurrency, because people are just blindsided. They don't know anything about crypto. And that's why it's like everyone who watches my channel, everyone is still very early and very new, and you're not late to the party, because as cryptocurrency gets more adoption, it's huge. Legal tender, Canadians using it, it's considered money. So when I talk about Grayscale, and when I talk about like this point here, the bull run, when will it end? As Bitcoin gets into this ETF, as the Security and Exchange Commission loosens their belt and starts saying like, okay, well, we've approved this for an ETF, that is a huge milestone. It's a massive milestone, because it's just showing the United States, the world, that, hey, they're loosening up their belt. We're going to be able to like allow different things for Bitcoin to happen. Exchange, taxable events, if you like I always said, if you can't beat them, join them. So when we talk about the bull run, I just think it's going to be extended, and I don't think we're going to have as many hard dips as we had in 2012 and 2017, because back then it was a lot of speculation. It was a lot of pump and dumps, ICOs that were just kind of like, come, go, write a white paper, and done. Now we're having a Bitcoin fund, maybe a spot exchange ETF fund. That is going to hold a lot of money and a lot of people's money in there. So we're not going to have a lot of these huge cycles, and it's just going to extend a lot longer with a period of time, especially as the SEC loosens their belt and Bitcoin gets more adopted. As Bitcoin becomes legal tender, a form of money in different currencies, as more countries like El Salvador start to say and start to gobble as much Bitcoin. Like right now, you could only mine 900 Bitcoin a day. That's not enough Bitcoin for people to, like, for the big boys like PayPal, like Grayscale, to gobble up. People are fighting over Bitcoin. So with a scarce supply of 21 million, that's why I'm a big believer in Bitcoin, to say, if you could just grab and hold on to one Bitcoin, to say that you hold at least one Bitcoin and you set and forget, that is massive. If everyone does that, where do you think, and you hodl it and you do your part, not financial advice, but where do you think Bitcoin is going to be? Because if you're a long-term holder and you look at on-chain analysis from Glassnode, you'll notice that more and more people are hodling Bitcoin because they know that there's only 21 million. Guys, 21 million. And if you're in history to say that you hold one Bitcoin, that's bullish. That's amazing, because if everyone does their part and you're just a hodler, there's no supply. The Bitcoin price is going to go up because there's not much supply. What is that going to do to altcoins? It's going to also help with the altcoin rally to continue to go. So we're not going to have as much of this, right? So that's my take on that. You hold one Bitcoin, that's great. Anyways, let's get into the next topic, strong nodes. So you guys in my private group have been talking about strong nodes. I'm going to give you my take on it. I'm going to give you a take on what nodes that I have. I'm not against strong nodes. I know some people left comments, but give me 1 second. Let me go to my screen. Strong nodes, where are you? All right, here we are. So strong blocks, strong nodes. How much can you make? So here's the strong nodes. Let's go to strong block. Apparently, I think there's active nodes. Look at that. 117,000 nodes. So people are asking, estimated rewards, you get for one node, you get 0.10 of a strong node. So let's come over to CoinGecko. So strong right now, and you need 10 strong to create a node. And then the rewards are about 0.1. So you get $66. So one strong node costs 6,666. But it gives you 0.1 of a strong every day. So you get about $66 a day. All right. So check this out. You create a node over here, and here are the rewards. The daily rewards right now currently is 0.1. All right, so that is how you get a node. Basically, you create a node over here. All right, node name, node description. You connect your wallet, and you have to pay a monthly fee of $14.95. So, like I said, you need 10 strong to create a node. It's 6,000. So 666 times 10 is about 6,666. All right, and you get 0.1 of a strong per day for your rewards. So you make 66. Anyways, I have a friend that has like, I think he's got 50 strong nodes. Anyway, he's making like 100,000 a month. Now, so that's strong. All right. Now I'll give you my thoughts on strong. Let me just change my screen here. So anyways, my thoughts on strong. So, oh cool, Pat E's got a strong node. Cool. I'm not against strong node. I think what I like about nodes is I take the approach of if you're going to get into a cryptocurrency and all they offer is just staking and that's it, like you make an APY, I don't like it as much. So with Gala, it's a little different. Gala nodes serve a purpose, not just to make passive income, but it gives you utility. When I talk about passive income, you have to look at different things because let's say we do get into bear market, are you still going to be making that passive income? And there's other factors that you have to look at is like, okay, when you get into node A, you know, is that passive income coming from a pool of set aside pool of staking, right, for your nodes? Because a chain might have, you know, set a location of amount of tokens for staking, and once that pool dries up, you're out, right? So you're out of you're out of the pool, but what's going to happen after? So when you get into nodes like this, you got to think like, okay, what are the rewards today? What are the rewards tomorrow? What are the rewards as more people come in? Okay, so when you talk about nodes, you got to look at what is the purpose that it's solving. Is it just getting into node and you're making passive income and that's it? Because aside from making income, what happens when that pool dries out? Okay, with Gala, it's a little different because it's play to earn. Now, where do I think play to earn is going to be? I think play to earn is going to be here forever, right? Because I think the gaming industry outside of cryptocurrency and like the gaming industry itself is massive. Kids play, I play. Yeah, make fun of me because I'm an old guy playing video games, but hey man, it is what it is. I play, right? But you take that to a new level and you play to earn and you play to make money. We're all in North America. Shout out to JD. JD's in North America. He's in the US, okay? So Gala node is 25,000 right now. You're playing, but just think like you're not in USA or Canada or in a first world country. Let's say you're in a third world country, a poor country. You've got access to internet. If you have the ability to make $50 to $100 a day in the Philippines, I've got staff in the Philippines. I asked them what's the average rate of how much you make. They're like $12 a day US. Okay, so I play Overwatch. So if you're making $12 US a day, that's the average income. Picture when you play, as play to earn grows, as Mirandus, as Gala, as the games, the blockchain play to earn games that you think will be here tomorrow based on the community and based on how much they have investors on board. If they are here to last till tomorrow and next year and 2 years and they have enough funding, think about the adoption that's going to go as they continue to build, and people in the Philippines or in different like poorer countries that can make $50 a day playing video games. So my whole take is in Southeast Asia, it's going to continue to grow. And when we talk about NFTs, it's huge. DHL and Vechain is getting so big. NFTs, people think NFTs is just a card. But as they grow and as it matures, people are going to think, well, NFT is just not a piece of art. An NFT could be a card that you have as a character, and it becomes playable on the blockchain because you've leveled up your hero. And now you've got a leveled up hero. Now you could go fight the lower level people and take all their money. And then as that character ranks high and big, maybe I could sell it. Now I'm going to rinse and repeat and start with a level 1 character, build it up, make all this money passively. Then I'm going to sell it. And hopefully that the play to earn game that you've picked becomes massive, becomes huge. But anyways, so my whole point is with strong nodes, I'm not against strong nodes. It's just a matter of, okay, well, like, what does it serve? Does it serve utility like play to earn? Does it have a pool? So before I was kind of like skeptical of strong nodes, saying, well, okay, great, year in passive income, but what's the utility of it? Because if it's just me investing my money into a node and it gives me rewards, I'm not so into that. Now, when we talk about Marsh and unmarshal nodes, so unmarshal nodes, here's their utility and their use case. So on Marshall, I talked about on Marshall, if you get a founders node, there's 25 of them, but you could also get light nodes. I'm not too sure if they're going to be licensed or an NFT node, but it serves purpose. Okay, so this is how unmarshal nodes are going to work. You've got nodes out there. Unmarshal provides a service, okay, like XScan. Companies need their white label services to create indexing services. So you've got unmarshal, that's going to create an index service. Let's say you're an NFT company and you've got 100 weapons, you got 100 pieces of land, you have thousands of players. Those thousands of players want to know how much profit and loss they made. They bought a character, they upgraded their weapon, how much did they buy it for, what is in their wallet. So unmarshal does this. They will work with a company and they will say, we can index your data for your users to show everything on the blockchain, how much they made, the profit and loss, the tax statements when you go to do your taxes, like your tax, like regular tax, to do your profit and loss, to figure out if you made money or you lost money, if you needed to submit it to the government. So they index all of that information for a chain, and they will have decentralized nodes. They're called NFT nodes, okay? Decentralized NFT nodes to query all that information. So you're serving a purpose, but you're also getting rewarded because you're helping the chain with the node, right? For validation, security, and processing everything on the blockchain. So it serves purpose, okay? That's my whole thing with nodes. I don't want to get into a node just because they provide passive income. What is their utility? What is everything behind it? That's the main thing. So, but I'm not opposed to nodes because you never know. You take a chance to get early into nodes and you could be well rewarded. So as you guys search for nodes that are like out there, don't be afraid to take a chance to get in, because those nodes might be massive and you might get into nodes that cost you $500 now. But like for me, I got into Gala nodes when they're around 2,000. I took a big chance and I wish I bought more, but anyways, I got into Gala nodes at 2,000 and now they're worth 25,000. And on a good day, like before I was making like $700 a day just on Gala nodes. Now it's roughly about $300 a day. So you take your chance, but you also got to do your research. Who's behind the team, the community, how difficult is it to run a node? Anyway, strong nodes are 1 click, 2 click. They're easy. Gala nodes, sharing nodes, Marsh nodes, you need to know a little bit of Unix, Linux, but it's easy. If you follow my guide, it's simple. It's really easy. So shout out to Carlito. Anyways, let's get into the next topic. Top 5 cryptos. Let me just share my screen here. All right. So top 5 cryptocurrencies to watch this week. I wanted to talk about this. Okay. So here is COINTELEGRAPH. They talk about the top 5 cryptos to watch this week. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Matic, FTM. All right. So obviously Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's making news with ETFs. Ethereum, you know what? ETH is going to hurt a lot of people with the fees, right? But this is the great thing, because when we talk about Ethereum's going to kind of kill the market short term, where it sucks because when you go to mint something, NFT people and then people in NFT art, NFT play to earn, especially in Southeast Asia, when they play, most of them are doing stuff on Binance Smart Chain because the fees are nothing. Ethereum kills it with NFTs because it sucks. You don't know when to use it because you don't know if you're going to pay $200 in gas fees or you're going to pay $70 or $30. So right now Ethereum sucks. If 2 comes out. So I know that there's not a lot of bad talk about ETH, but it's just like, it's like Bitcoin. If you could buy Bitcoin at 3,000, would you have bought Bitcoin at 3,000? Yeah. ETH is where it is now. Like 3,000 is going to be huge. If you could wait it out for 5 years or 3 years or 4 years when ETH 2 comes out, ETH 2, you're going to be like, man, I wish I could buy ETH at 3,000 because it's going to be massive. Anyways, let's talk about, like, Bitcoin is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is king. I already talked about Bitcoin. I'm like, my biggest bag, Bitcoin. Love Bitcoin. Solana. Okay, we'll talk about Solana. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of private sales requests, and it's all talking about Solana. Oxbow Solana 2 started just an Oxbow S on the Solana chain just for a lot of their games because they also see it. Everyone's talking about Solana. Now, yeah, some of the ETH people are in Matic, they talk about Solana. They make fun of Solana because they had to do a reset, just because, they talk, it's not about TPS. It's not just about transactions per second. You got to talk about security. But, security, it's always something you can work on. But the whole point for me about saying about Solana is, like, just a ton of stuff is coming to Solana, and it's cheap. Fees are almost nothing, and it's great to build games on and anything else. So a lot of the play to earn and the PDE stuff is going on Solana. Developers are going big on Solana. So you can't miss the opportunity for Solana, even the price at Sol. So for me, like, if you thought, right, because Ethereum, it's nice to have a couple of Ethereum, right? Because it's at a high point. You're not going to do 1,000x. You have a better chance of doing a bigger X on Solana. Matic is fine because it gives you that great layer 2 solution for Ethereum sidechain stuff. It's cheap, the fees, but it's not as fast. Like, you don't hear a lot of people saying, I'm going to build my game on Matic or play to earn stuff. Like, yes, Ethereum, yes, Matic, not so much. Solana is where it's at. So for me, I'd rather take the chance and go more Sol. But everyone knows I'm big on Polkadot. Like, Polkadot is like, I'd want to be known as a Bitcoin maxi or a Polkadot maxi because I got so much belief in Polkadot. I love Polkadot. FTM, yes, great. But for me, Solana, I'd rather pick out of these. Bitcoin and Ethereum, I have in my bag. So I just love those two. All right. Anyways, let's get into don't sit still. All right. So I'm going to talk about this, like, when you're in this bull run that we are in now, because Bitcoin is reaching 63, 64. It's going to hit an all-time high pretty soon. You can't sit still. Look at your bag. And I talked about this before, and I'm like, because someone was asking me today, they said, how do you make your bag bigger? All right. So that was I spent a good hour with this person today because they asked, how do you make your bag bigger? How did you get your portfolio to what it was? To me, I say you got to be active in crypto. Treat it like a job. I know a lot of you guys still work 9 to 5, but if you're investing, for me, I was into stocks, regular stocks. Now I'm obviously I'm 90% into crypto, but you got to keep your eye on things. Okay. So this is what I said to them. Open up CoinGecko, find out the coins that you follow the most and watch them. Put them in your portfolio list. Put in your watch list, okay? Now, go to TradingView, open up TradingView, and look at the news, okay? So let's say you have Vechain. Now, think, when Vechain pumps, why is it pumping? When it dumps, why is it dumping? Look at Bitcoin. Does it follow Bitcoin dominance? Like, does it follow or has a high correlation with Bitcoin? So if Bitcoin tanks 50%, what does Vechain do? Okay. If there's FUD, there's China FUD that You know, all the miners in China can't mine. They're getting booted out. What happens to Bitcoin? Does it retrace? Does it go down 20%? Okay, so if it goes down 20%, you know that's FUD. And most of the time, not financial advice, that it goes back up. So if VeChain follows Bitcoin and correlates very strong, like 95%, then you know that if you're just following Bitcoin news and there's a lot of FUD and the markets are crashing, you know that VeChain is going to take that big tank because it correlates with Bitcoin that much. So in your portfolio, you've got a watch list. Go to TradingView and see when there was China FUD. And how far did it dip? It's called a pullback. It retraced 20%. So it retraced 20%. How many days did it take to come back up to that level? Plus 10%. So you made 30%. Look at that. Do that. Get on the pullback. Get on the dip. That's what they call buying the dip. And that's what I've been doing every month. I got a swing bag. I got stable coins. I don't deplete my stable coins. I always keep BUSD on Binance Smart Chain. I keep BNB, and I also keep Ethereum and USDT. There's only been a couple of times where I've gone all in. Maybe like when Bitcoin went from 10 to 15,000, 10,000 to 3,000. That's when I pulled the trigger to go all in. I actually did credit cards to go all in to buy Bitcoin at 3,000 and VeChain. When VeChain tanked from 0.007 to 0.00175, man, I rush to get in like crazy. So, because I knew it was just a matter of time to come back up. So as we get into a bull run and everything is above your moving average, your EMA, right? You've got your 200-day moving average, your 100-day moving average, your 50-day moving average. As long as price is above there and you see a pullback, the moving average trend line, we should have retracement, come back up. Retracement, come back up. A little small pullback, come back up. That is a time where you could get in and make money. So look for those pullbacks for your watch list. Buy it at a low of 20, down 20% or down 10%. Let it come back. And then you've got your stable coin where you've bought, and then just sell it. Rinse and repeat. Keep doing that. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Anyways, so that's why I say don't sit still. You got to, okay, so look at your bags, and if your bags aren't performing, and because we're in a bull run right now, you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss out on the opportunity to not make money. If you have a crypto that is not performing, that has been promising and promising and promising and not delivering, and the community is bad, that's where you have to make a decision and figure out, do I want to personally stay in this project? Okay. But you don't want to make a mistake and not do your own research, because you never know when that coin is going to do good things, because we never know what's going on behind the scenes. But you just have to make sure, and you just really have to do your own research on it. But if your coin isn't performing and the company has been promising way too much stuff and just never delivered, and that's the track record and the history, and if you made your decision to get out, I would still be happy with that decision that you made based on that previous track performance, because you made the right decision. Because you never know, maybe the coin just goes to zero, and the community is bad. Because in cryptocurrency, the community is everything. It's not everything. It's probably like 30%. When you have a weak community, it hurts the crypto bad. Even when you're in if you have picture this, and I talked about this before, Cardano doesn't have a product, right? Smart contracts aren't here. It's crap. So when you're in Cardano and XRP, right, in a bear market, you still have hundreds of thousands of holders because they believe in it long term, right? Because you have a strong community. If you don't have a strong community and you're in a bear market, you're going to craps. You're going to complete craps. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth staying in this coin? Because if your community is bad and the CEO is not transparent, or the CEO doesn't have a great track record, you got to ask yourself, should I stay in this coin? Because if the community is bad and you don't have enough holders, everyone's looking to sell on the next pump. So you're not going to have enough liquidity to sell. You could get in. So that's the question you have to ask. If the community is bad and everyone just wants to sell on the next pump, that's crap. So you've got armies like Cardano army. You have armies like XRP. You have strong believers even in a bear market, so you'll always have people that are going to hodl and hold onto that coin and just wait and wait and wait and wait. I know guys that are like, when I question them, I'm like, man, you're still holding on to XRP? You're crazy. But they've held on strong from 10 cents to whatever. It went up to $1.50 or $1.75, and they got rewarded because they're like, yeah, I'm a believer. Even though people talk bad about it, I'm still a believer. But you need that community. You need that shill army, that community. You know, the engagement on Telegram is key. The engagement on Twitter. A CEO like Charles Hoskinson, you know, Brad Garlickhouse, consistently going for news. Charles Hoskinson on live, just talking about his product, his vision, his leadership, what's new, the developments, etc. He's out there. He's out and about, keeping the community engaged. You can't turn around and just flick the switch and hope that your community is going to be there tomorrow. Okay, if you've got a dying community, I personally think that the token is just going to suffer, right? Unless you've got news that something that is bullish, like Alibaba has signed with you, or Microsoft has decided to use your blockchain. That is huge. Then maybe you'll get some traction. But if you're small cap crypto and you don't have that community and you're not focusing and you're not building and your marketing is not on point, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer big. Okay, so that's my whole point. And you can't sit still. So my point being is, but you got to make your own decision, because you never know. Like, every coin will have its time and every coin will pump on its own. So you also have to look at opportunity cost. The thing, like, okay, yes, you might sell when it's not at the peak, but we're in a bull run. So if you get into a coin that has a great starting community, has great fundamentals, it's got a low market cap, it's in play to earn maybe right now, because play to earn is big, maybe it's okay to take a loss on this and cut your losses and say, forget it, I'm out. I'm going to sell and get into a coin that is at a low market cap, has a great community, a strong community, great leadership, and it's got pumpamentals because everyone's positive. If people aren't positive and people are negative and just keep talking about the project, that there's too much product delays, there's no transparency, it's crap, don't stay in that coin, okay? Like, think about where your holdings are, because there's a lot of money to be made out there, right? So anyways, the bull run end, talked about that. I think it's going to extend. Holding my ETH, deciding where to spread it out. Yeah. Anyways, let me get back to the top of the questions here. Shout out to Tony. What's going on, Tony? Tony Husted. Holosaurus is in the house. JA, what's going on, JA? Vet is still a beast. Remember when we were buying at less than half a penny? Wish I had more. Yeah. JA came onto my channel. Shout out to my boy JA. He's up in the west side. Yeah, JA and I, like, we were all buying Vet at 0.003, 00175. I know Rich bagged, like, I think Rich had like 10 or 15 million Vet. And it would have been worth like 2 to 3 million. And I talked to him, and I talked to a lot of people. Like, we all had bags. My bag is close to what my Vet bag was, just because, but it cost me a lot to get back into what it was. Because I bought in at 00175, then I sold at 2 cents, then I got back in, but it cost me an arm and a leg to get my bag, which kind of pissed off. But anyways, we were buying it low, right? And that was in the bear market, 2019, 2020 bear market. So if you're new to cryptocurrency, you got to get into these cycles. But everything is changing, especially with NFTs and Bitcoin ETFs and Bitcoin adoption. We might not see much of a huge dip in bear market, because it might just extend. We might not see that. So maybe big retracement and pullbacks are over with bear markets, right? Because Bitcoin adoption, Bitcoin ETFs, Bitcoin ETF spots, it might just all change. But yeah, it's crazy. NFTs is another category of must-haves, but only with utility. Yeah, exactly. And it's true, Chase, man. It's crazy. Like, some people don't understand that. Like, people that are coming into cryptocurrency, when they come into NFTs, their first thought is like, nah, I'm not into art that much. But if you got NFT with utility, and that's why I'm so big on Ecomi, because they've got the money, the power, the branding, the community. They have everything going for them, okay? The only thing that Ecomi doesn't have going for them is maybe they got big wallet holders, and the supply is big. But it's going to burn, and as long as it burns and burns, it's going to be big. Because Ecomi, they could create they're thinking of ways to make more utility. The burn, the metaverse, probably play to earn because they've got Trevor on board. Trevor specializes in, like, I forgot the game that he created, but DC knows all about it. So the game, like, he came from game development. Now he's on board with Ecomi. They're going to create the metaverse, their own metaverse, and VV's metaverse is going to be massive, without a doubt, because that army is strong. That army is massive. The Ecomi army is massive. And that's why I'm happy to say that I'm a holder and that I'm Ecomi is in my top bags, because Ecomi is going to be a massive monster. Because if the community is that big, people are going to, if they come out with a play to earn game, whatever their metaverse is going to be, it's going to be enormous. And the more utility they create, the better it's going to get, because they're going to burn. And if you can't see what Ecomi is doing now, like, you're blind. Because every time there's a drop, everyone in my group is swearing like, F this, F that, I didn't get it. That's bullish, because when you post a drop and it sells out in half a second, that is telling you something that if you haven't invested in Ecomi, you're doing things wrong. Not financial advice, but you got to bag Ecomi, because you've got everything going for it. You've got a community, you have a strong community, you have a transparent CEO. The team is docked. The team isn't, like, hidden like DeFi. You've got, like, they're not going to run out of money. They're making tons of money. And even if they were running out of money and they were to say, hey, we need a loan, a grant, a Kickstarter, like I said, they'd probably get, billions of dollars, because they've got strong believers. So, crazy strong believers. Mark Innes says, Ron, you are so right. The HODL game worked for me in the bear market. It is different times now. Yeah, so, like, when you're playing the crypto game, you have different bags. Like, okay, so for me, a HODL bag would be Ecomi, right? Would be Bitcoin, would be Ethereum, because I'll swing trade a lot. I'll DCA, I'll swing trade, I'll get into coins, I'll get into crap coins to go in and out, but I'll take that money and to reinvest into my strong holdings like Vechain, okay, like Bitcoin, and all my other coins like Ecomi. So I'll play the HODL game for that, but I've got a lot of other coins where in a bull market, and hopefully we get into this huge, unrealistic gains, I want to make sure that I've got like 5 to 10 cryptos that are strong projects and not so speculative, where if one of them just moons, I'm going to sell that, and then I could coast on my current portfolio and just let it ride. But I'd probably take about like 40% of those, maybe 40 to 60%, and move it a lot into stablecoin. But for Bitcoin, I don't know. For me, I'm just going to HODL into Bitcoin. Like, I think Bitcoin is just too precious for me. So I like to HODL. Now, Ecomi is probably like, Ecomi is what I'm banking on a lot for this bull run. And VeChain, for sure. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. And I've got other plays like Polka Fantasy, Unmarshall, Gala. Give me 1 second. What's going on, Elias? What's going on? So yeah, it's true, Marcus. Times are different. Times are really different. Um, you got to find out what coins are good for you. Yeah, ask your questions about the node questions. I'm looking for some good nodes, not on the ETH network. Um, okay, so someone's gonna ask me, is Gala node worth it? Here's what I would say. I think it's worth it, okay, for Gala node because you got DAG nodes too. DAG nodes look attractive. So if you're into DAG, I got a group. I got Bollymuns. I got Holosaurus. I talk about DAG nodes. They're big onto LTX. DAG node is something that you might want to look into. Noya node you might want to look into. So Noya, if you can afford, what is Noya? I think you need 200,000. You need 200,000 Noya. Okay, so 200,000 Noya at 31 cents, 62,000 for a Noya node. So Noya is a great one to have, a validator. Gala, I still think it's worth it because play to earn and NFTs are so hot. You're in the trend right now, okay? And if you're like me, you think blockchain gaming and cryptocurrency isn't going anywhere, because Gala is saying it's not known for passive. It's not. They're not saying. They're saying, don't say that a Gala node is an investment. You're here to support the network, but everyone knows that Gala is like there because you make money, because people, as long as they continue to create games, because they're going to have 20 plus games, Gala, and every game that they come out with, you're getting in-game currency. So right now I'm getting paid in Gala about $300 a day to $400 a day, doing nothing, just because I hold the nodes and they're running. And plus I'm getting Townstar coin. So is it worth a node at 25,000 US? At the end of the node sales, apparently it's supposed to be an NFT and it's going to go to 100,000 the last sale. So if you could invest into something at 25,000, knowing that it's going to go to 100,000, knowing that you're in the hottest genre niche out of everything right now in crypto is NFTs and play to earn, do I think it's worth it? Yeah, because Gala is going to create 20 plus games. You're going to get 20 different levels of in-game currency. Don't quote me on the numbers, okay? It's roughly about 20 games. Plus growing. All right, and then you think about who's leading the space in play to earn is Axie Infinity, Gala. Gala's here to stay, right? But you have to do your own research. So every game that they create, you're going to get currency for that. And on top of that, they said that the NFT, the Gala node, is going to be an NFT. So if it's an NFT and you own that, you could sell it on the market at the end of the 100,000. Or you could sell it on the black market. Right now, I've got Gala nodes. And if I wanted to say, hey, someone wants to buy all of my nodes, instead of, right now they're at 25,000. Instead of 25,000, I'll give it to me $24,000 each. Take them all. I can do that on the black market. Write a contract, whatever. Right? They send it to me with someone that I trust, obviously. So you come into a network, a private group, or whatever. Like I've got a private group. You get into, and then someone will buy those nodes, because right now they're not transferable unless it's an email. So that's why I bought different nodes. On one of my accounts, I have 7 nodes. Another account, I got 8, another node. Then every other node, they're all single emails with single licenses, because when I go to sell this in the future, if it's not an NFT, every email that I have, I could just say, you want one node? Okay, I've got this email. You could take over the email. The license is attached to that email. I'll sell you that email and that Gala node for the future. But with my other account, with 7 nodes on it, that is the account that I'm just going to have for life. Like, so are Gala nodes worth it? In my opinion, yes. Strong nodes, you probably want to take a chance on it. I'm probably going to buy a couple of strong nodes. Because I don't want to miss out, because who knows? The community, like I said, I talked about community. Community is key. So I know that the strong army is huge. You look at them on Twitter, they're massive. The community is important, and if you got a great community, I think it'll do well, and I think it's still worth it at $6,000 per strong node, because the amount of strong out there, I think, is really low in terms of supply. And if you got a great army and you got a CEO, because they're starting to do more stuff with NFTs, So it might be like in the future that like Gala, like, man, imagine you got into strong nodes at 6,000 back in the day and now they're 25,000. So that's where I think strong node might be able to go, because they've got the community and they got a CEO that is very transparent. I seen him on live AMAs not too long ago, and he's always out there educating people. So that's where I think you could get into in terms of nodes. Gala node's still worth it, yes. Strong, take a chance. I think it's worth it because the community and the CEO, and they're doing different things. So that's why I say I think strong has potential, right? DAG nodes the future too. So take a look at DAG nodes. They're doing a lot of stuff, right? Their blockchain. What's going on, Manifest Wallace? What's good? My boy Manifest Wallace. You haven't seen it in a while. Anyways, what's new with Manifest, man? Yo, Manifest, what are you buying? I know you got me into Luxo. Thanks for that. If you weren't in my group and if I wasn't communicating with you as much, I wouldn't have gotten to Luxo. Anyways, thanks for the flex for the less than $2 Luxo. I think I got in at Luxo at $2. Anyways, now it's 25. Live and learn. Yeah. How much is Galano? 25,000 for Galano. Drip pays 1% a day. 25K. What do you play? Yeah, I play a lot of Overwatch. I love Overwatch. Overwatch is cool. But anyways, it's gonna be cool. Like if you're like Chase, man. I know you got a YouTube channel. Go follow my boy Chase. Chase, leave a link to your channel, because I know you're into gaming a lot. You're into content creation. But think about all the play to earn games as you educate more people on how to actually make money online playing video games. Think of where everything is going to go. Like, kids that are playing are going to want to be like, yeah, I want to make money. I don't want to work at McDonald's. The only reason why I'm working at McDonald's is because my mom and dad says you need experience, real world experience, for a manager to tell you to shut the F up and do your work so it could be on your resume. But every kid would probably just want to stay home and make more money playing games. And that's going to be the future. It's going to be crazy. Super crazy. Beyond Earth has a game. You'll be able to stake your characters. Beyond Earth. Cool. What's going on, Carlito? Yeah, Carlito, you had a question about Oxbow Solana. I did that with eHeart. Man, I missed this. I'm back, baby. Yeah. I'm a huge NFT community manager. It gave me a third chance. Yeah, I know, Chase, you ran into some things. What's going on, Gypsy King? Shout out to Gypsy King. No, I hold my share. I just would love to see share come out with the product, iOS, everything out. I know they're working hard, so I still hold my share. I know a lot of people are upset with share because of the delays and the community, everything. Anyways, I haven't made a video in... Okay, you haven't made a movie in a while. Questions. I'm thinking about going all in on Moonbeam. I think it'll be a powerful layer 1 ecosystem. Are you bullish? Yeah, heavily bullish on Moonbeam and Moonriver. All right. So the Parachain auction is coming. They're coming soon. I think November 11th it's going to start. So for Polkadot Parachains are going to be massive. All right. So Polkadot Parachains are going to be huge. It's a win-win situation when you hold DOT. If you're... Okay, let's say you're not that old and you've got many bull runs to live to retire. If you got a great 5 years, where do you think DOT is going to be? I had a conversation with one of my friends here. I think DOT is going to be in 5 years like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, right? Whatever, couple of thousand for DOT. You hold DOT, it's a win-win situation. You take your DOT, you lease your DOT to get into a parachain. You win that parachain candle, whatever they win, you get free tokens. Whether it's Moonriver, whether it's Akala, it's on the ecosystem. As soon as it's on the ecosystem, it's already proven. It's proven it's not a scam. It's not a rug. They're going to be here for a long time. That auction that won, Then you get your tokens back in 2 years. If you say, I want to lease it for 2 years. And where do you think Polkadot is going to be in 2 years? Unless we hit this super bearish market. But like I said in this stream before, is like, I don't think we're going to get into a super bearish market, because now you got Bitcoin ETFs. You're going to have Bitcoin ETF spot exchange trading probably soon. The SEC and the Securities Exchange Commission, it's going to change. More countries are going to adopt it. The miners can't mine enough for the amount of demand that there is. You have long-term hodlers for Bitcoin that keep hodling and staying long-term hodlers. So the amount of Bitcoin is just going to hopefully stick at that, high price, and altcoins continue to rally and rally and rally. So that's my take on that. Gypsy King, yeah, I agree. Just curious, given the opportunity cost of holding right now, everything else is happening. Yeah, exactly. So you got to look at the opportunity cost, whether you're holding sharing, whether you're holding any coin. And like I said, like, community is very important in crypto. Okay, you got to look at everything. You look at the Telegram group, you look at the Twitter, you look at the comments, you look at everything, the delays, the track record, everything. Like, whether it's CEO A, CEO B, and they've put out a date, what is the track history and the record of them always coming out on time? Is the company over-promising and under-delivering? Or are they over-delivering and under-promising? Right? Because you don't want to sit still on a coin and you're not making money. But on the flip side, like, I've talked to a lot of people, and sometimes a hodl game will work. Sometimes it won't. And you got to take that chance and think, maybe it's better that I hodl because, and I believe in the company, and maybe the company will do its thing. But you have risks, and you really got to break it down and say, and ask the questions. Hop in the Telegram group, hop and just say, okay, what's going on with the product? Why is there a delay? What happened to all the things that you said or this company has said? And where are they? Have they delivered? And if they haven't delivered, why not? What happened? And if the company can't be transparent and tell the community where it's at and what happened to all these things, then you make your decision. But right now, there's too much money to be made. So, and like I said before, my friend, he got out, and this is for sharing. So he got out at 2 cents. And I told him he was crazy. I'm like, well, not crazy, but I said, okay, well, you're taking a risk because it might go up. But he says, I'm fine. If it goes up, it goes up. So he sold sharing at 2 cents. He got into Cardano at 20 cents. That's opportunity cost. Okay, so you sold sharing at 2 cents. He decided to take a loss because, not a loss, because he got in at the 0.00 level. So he still made, so he got in at 0.006 and he sold it at 2 cents. So he still made great amount of money. Okay, but he decided to say, I'm going to take a potential future loss. Yes, Sharon could do well, but he didn't like the communication, didn't like the delays, a whole bunch of other stuff. So if he didn't do that, that would have been an opportunity cost for him. He got into Cardano at 20 cents, and Cardano's now at what, $2 something. So he made a lot of money. Different things. I talk a lot about it in my private group. I said, you guys got to make your decision. And you got to ask the questions. Like, if a product isn't being delivered or whatever, go in the Telegram. I could only tell you so much, but you got to make sure to do your own research. Figure out what, why, how, and who. And if you can't get the answers, make your decision. But all I'm saying is that there's opportunity cost, because we're in a bull market and you don't want to sit still. Whether it's coin A or coin B, you got to make those decisions. And that's why I say, like, you can't be all in. If you got 5 coins to 7 coins, all right, like I've got like about 12 coins. I'm heavy on probably about 5 coins, 6 coins. Okay, I'm heavy on 5 coins, and I'm medium on a couple other coins. All you need is just one coin to moon and set you for life, or all you need is that one coin that'll make you kick back, relax, and say that, okay, Now that my one coin has done well, I'm going to take profit. You got to take profit, okay? Don't be greedy. When there's too much greed, it's bad because you got to take out some profit. Take it in stablecoin and just let it sit. When you've got the huge news of media and FUD that makes your portfolio dip 40%, then you have USD stablecoin to take that opportunity. But don't be too greedy because you never know when we're going to have a huge correction, a huge dip. And I talked about this before. If you're all into one coin, and the coin is the most bullish coin in the world, it's the best coin, and they get a security breach, they get an exploit, and you get hacked, game over. Like, check out Pancake Bunny. Pancake Bunny was sitting at $600. They had an exploit. They've never been able to fully recover. It went to like $1 or like whatever. Anyways, so let's say you had thousands of Pancake Bunny and it was sitting at $500 or $600 and they get an exploit. Man, imagine how bad you'd feel like if you're 100% all into one coin. That's why I say diversity is key. People talk about, oh, you know what? Why diversify when you know the coin is going to do well? That's a bunch of BS. That's like putting a gun to your head. So anyone that tells you not to diversify, man, tell them to go home. Seriously. Like, I've heard it, and I had an argument with someone like way back, and I'm like, are you crazy? You're telling people to go all in just because you think this coin is going to do well? Like, think about it. If you get hacked and you've got a coin that's sitting at $20 and it goes to like Bog Tools. Bog Tools was doing so well. They were at $20. They had an exploit, and people thought like it could have been an internal job. Rightfully so, it could have been. So you go from $20 to 70 cents. That's what Bog Tools is sitting at right now. I bought the dip when it went to $1, just because I want to use their tools. I don't like their tools that much. The sniper tool doesn't work as great. So I saw it go from $20 to $1. Imagine you had your portfolio sitting at millions of dollars because you got in early at Bog and you didn't take profit, and they have an exploit and they get hacked. So you got to look at all those things, especially with DeFi, right? And the CERTIC audits, because when they're doing liquidity and providing a lot of like liquidity pools and farms, there's a lot of potential for a lot of hacks because there's a lot of transactions that trade and change. So you got to stay on top of that company to see if they're doing their due diligence and always getting into like audits. They're consistently getting audited. So if you look at a website, when was the last audit? When was the last CERTIC audit? Because you don't want to get into that chance that your coin is sitting at 2 cents. Oh, they got hacked and now we're sitting at 0. Maybe it was an inside job. You never know what could happen. So diversify, make sure you're doing, your homework. Make sure that you're not going all in. You're not too heavy on one coin. For me, I'm looking at my portfolio. I'm saying I just want to be about 10% into different coins. 10%, 10%, 10%. Except for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I want to be hold as much Bitcoin as I possibly can, but I know Bitcoin's not going to make me rich. Bitcoin is going to give me long-term wealth growth in the long run. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. Bitcoin's king. Strong node is about 66,000. Gypsy King says, yeah, I agree. Just curious given the opportunity cost. Yes, okay. So everything else is happening. Yeah, exactly. You got to like look at things and just let's figure it out. Like, yeah, like I'll be honest. I sold some share, right? Because I wanted to get into nodes. So I sold share. I sold some share, and I think I sold some share at 0.018 because I wanted an opportunity to get into some Gala nodes. So it was what? Gala nodes were 2,000 back in December, January. So I sold some share I sold 1 million share, I think at 0.018 because I needed to get into Gala nodes to buy 8 nodes. Was it a mistake? Can share go up to $1? Yes, but I want to get into Gala nodes. So I took that opportunity to sell some. ETZ, what's going on, ETZ? Hey, Ron, are you selling tokens at the top of the bull run and reaccumulating? I'm a bit conflicted. Yeah. So ETZ, there's certain coins. One of the main ones is like Bitcoin. So ETZ, when I'm looking at, I'm going to play the charts, okay? And I'm going to try and make the best calls that I think. I'm probably going to do about 60% of my portfolio. So if I got like 100 Bitcoin, I'll probably look at like doing 60 Bitcoin, taking a chance to hopefully sell a top. All right, then I'm going to trickle down to the altcoins. As soon as I start to see Bitcoin and the moving averages, the 50, the 20, the 16-week, the 200-day moving average, 100-day moving average, the death cross, I'm looking at all that stuff. If the greed factor is too high, and if I start seeing Bitcoin start to dip below those levels, I'm going to scale back slowly. When my alts are booming, and I've decided to say profit is profit. I've been saying this to everyone in my group, profit is profit, okay? Don't be greedy, because even if you made 50%, you made 60%, okay? That's okay, because profit is profit. Where else can you make these insane gains? You can't make these insane gains anywhere. I look at my stock portfolio, and my stock portfolio is just like, sometimes I look at it, I'm like, damn, why did I even buy more stocks? When you think about, like, to be honest, everyone is too greedy. Everyone is too greedy and spoiled in crypto, because we're making crazy amounts of gains. We are making just crazy gains because I bought a Comey on the dip at 0.02. And not too long ago, we went to 0.08. I 4x'd in weeks, okay? Then we talk about IDOs. We talk about Blocktopia. So shout out to Bollymans in our group. He got into Blocktopia, not even in the IDO. He decided to just pull the trigger, get in at 0.005, and then it went to 2 cents. Where else in a day or anywhere in the markets where you can make a 3x, a 4x in a day? It's crazy. So I think we're all a little bit greedy at times. So when you look at your portfolio and everything is pumping, and you try and time the market as best as you can from previous data and results. You go to TradingView, you look at the previous results and say, okay, Bitcoin in 2017 and 2018 dipped. We went into bear market here. But what's going on in the future of cryptocurrency? Because I think we're going to have an extension of the bull run. I don't think that the bear market is going to be as bad, because we have different games. We have NFTs, we have play to earn, we have enterprise blockchain solutions, we have different ways of making this continue, right? I still think we're going to hit a bear market, but maybe not as drastic. So you look at all that data and all the results, and you basically make the best informed decision. Because right now we're sitting at 62,000, 61,000 Bitcoin. So if you did buy the dip at 29,000, you're already at 100% for your Bitcoin. So maybe you want to put some into stablecoin. And for me, I'm always paying myself. I'm always taking out. I'm always rewarding myself in some way. I reward myself with Gala nodes. I'll pay for trips. I'll pay for house expenses, food, gas, groceries, trips, game of poker, whatever, buy a watch, maybe like a Rolex that won't depreciate, something like that. Pay off a car expense if you got a car expense, a loan, right? Your significant other that takes care of your money better than you, because when you're in crypto, you're too greedy. Maybe you want to offload some of that stuff, and your wife, your husband is going to put that towards your mortgage. Stuff like that. Maybe you want to skim off a little, 100,000 of your Bitcoin portfolio because you've seen a green candle that went like this. If you see a leg up that goes like this with not much support, most likely it's going to retrace back down to that level of consolidation support where there was a thick line of support. If you see a leg up like that, maybe you want to take a little bit of profit and skim off the top. Maybe you want to sell a couple 100,000 of Comey or a couple 100,000 VET because you've seen that crazy leg up. Because you've seen a big leg up, that's not going to be supported, right? So maybe you want to take profit at that level, move it into stablecoin, figure out a way how to bring it back into your bank account where, it'll be taxed. whatever. But my point is like, from what we learned in the last, when we had that big 40% dip a couple of months ago, is we can't be too greedy, because at least if you've taken profit, you're happy to say that, yeah, there's always potential that it went up, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but at least you took profit. And just tell yourself profit is profit. Remind yourself profit is profit. Yeah, I could have made more. Life sucks. Who cares? But I took profit and I'm happy with that. As long as you embed that into your head, you'll be all right. Because where else are you going to make? You're going to make 4x in the stock market? Not likely. You buy a node and you're making $60 a day. You could spend $6,000 right now, buy a strong node, make $66 a day. You're gonna find that in any ETF, any dividend, any bank stock. Hell no, man. It's crazy. So, anyways, I gotta wrap it up. Play to earn is hot. Solana is hot. Bitcoin ETFs, the bull run, Grayscale, the amount of mining happening for Bitcoin. There's not enough miners, right? There's not enough mining for the amount of Bitcoin that people want. So, if you could grab that one Bitcoin, great. It's crazy. Yeah, no problem. Crypto Fantico. So anyways, yeah, in the beginning I was having problems how to take profit. Yeah, Patty, you gotta take the profit. I know Pat's in my group, in my private group. You just gotta, like, we talk about it as a community, and that's why I like our group, is because we could share thoughts, we could share ideas, we could talk about nodes, we could talk about ideas. And I'm glad you pulled the trigger, Pat, on getting a Gala node, because I know you, not too long ago, you got into it. You and Juan got into the Gala node, but you made a safe investment, because you got into the Gala node, but you know that in a couple of months or a year, it's going to be worth 100,000, and it might be an NFT, and you're going to be getting in-game currency, and it's a way to make passive income, and you're in the hottest niche of play to earn and NFTs. So I personally think it was a strong play. It's good. Anyways, that's it. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone in the private group. I'll talk to you guys in the private group later on after the stream. Thanks for joining. And like always, don't forget to subscribe, like, comments. And anyways, I'll see everyone later.